When you feel stressed about exams, it's really easy to feel like you have no idea where to start. Most of the time, students will panic and they just don't know where to start, but they start somewhere that's easiest. Maybe it's rereading a book, maybe it's just looking over notes, or to try to find the quickest hacks to learn the subject. But what if I told you I've come up with 4 things that you should do before you dive right into your studies, super anxious, super stressed? Let me show you. Number 1 is to strategize. Investing a few hours will save you hundreds later on. This will help to guide you on where to focus your efforts when you begin. And this is kind of like sharpening the axe before you cut down a tree. Instead of attacking the tree with a dull axe and wasting your energy, take some time to come up with a game plan. The best way is to find clearly stated exam or course objectives. These can be listed at the end of lecture, in a textbook, and a syllabus, or on a study guide. Then make a plan of how much you want to study for each subject and what learning methods do you want to utilize. This is where your handy calendar and planner come into play. And I actually have some study schedules on my website to keep you organized and to help you in situations just like this. So check out that and it'll link in the description. But how much time should you spend on strategizing and planning? That leads us into our second thing, which is the 10% rule. This rule states that you should spend no more than 10% of your total learning time to plan and strategize, since planning too long can lead to paralysis by analysis. So let's just say you're trying to study for the MCAT and a reasonable goal might be 500 hours for the MCAT. Don't try to spend more than 50 hours planning and analyzing just to prepare to study for the MCAT. I mean, if you took those 50 hours, that could equate to about 2 weeks of 25 hours each just planning and strategizing, which is a good way to kind of start. Most students don't even structure their studying enough, if at all. And like I said, this is an investment to really reduce your time and stress later on. And as you do more of this, you will actually collapse your prep time in the future. Number 3 is include and exclude. And it's all about focusing on the learning outcomes that you need to achieve. In med school, we are taught many things, but a big responsibility on our end is to figure out what is considered high yield. What's the most important information? And I think this is one of the most useful skills to have as a student. You can figure out what's important by looking at your course objectives and understanding your learning goals. Like for example, if your goal is to learn how to speak a language and you're trying to speak Spanish, and you just need to know how to speak it, then you would spend a little less time on spelling and grammar. Treat your time as something very valuable, have hard stops to your studying, and then you will be compelled to find the most relevant information to study. Number 4, okay, this is not really to do before you start studying, it's more like during the process of studying, and that is to reassess. Sometimes your strategy won't be perfect, and it's important to realize when that happens. If you feel like you're hitting a plateau and it's not due to stress or fatigue, then you can go back to the research stage, try to explore other techniques and strategies. That's why constantly testing yourself and determining if you're making any progress is crucial in the learning process. And this is where also mentors and tutors are actually very valuable resources. These people can see things that you don't and help to judge you objectively. Just don't be stubborn. I've seen it in some of the best students. They might fail an exam and they feel bad for themselves, but they don't switch up their study habits or their time management technique, end up using the same kind of study methods on the next one and end up failing the next exam. It's like the expression goes, you can't expect different results by following the same behaviors. So if you found this interesting, then you should hit the subscribe button and you should smash that like button because it only makes sense because you liked it and it's gonna help me out in the algorithm. But besides the algorithm, this is all about helping students and you all. So if you want more value given to you right to your inbox, I'd recommend you sign up for my weekly free newsletter, which is linked below. And also linked below is my free course on studying smarter, which is on Skillshare and it's live now with bonus sections. All I have to say to conclude this is bye, have a wonderful time.